Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this video we will see that how you can animate the properties of a container. Okay. In our previous videos we have explored the concept of container widget and we have learned about its various properties as well. So the container class provides a convenient way to create a widget with specific properties like width, height, background color, padding, borders and more. So simple animations often involves changing these properties over time. For example, you might want to animate the background color from gray to green to indicate that an item has been selected by the user. Okay, so to animate these properties, Flutter provides the animated container widget. Okay, so like the container widget, animated container allows you to define the width, height, background colors and more. However, when the animate container is rebuilt with new properties, it automatically animates between the old and new values. So in Flutter, this type of animations are known as implicit animations. Okay. So in this example, we are going to use an animated container to animate the size, background color and border radius when the user taps a button. Okay. So first of all, create a new Dart file name animated container widget under your basic widgets folder. Okay. Now first we need to create a stateful widget with default properties. So over here, first import our material.dart file and we will create our new stateful widget. So before showing this class, let me show you how you can create a stateful widget with a shortcut. All you have to write stateful and here you can see just press tab. So it will generate the complete code for creating a stateful widget. All you have to do is provide a name. Okay, in this way. So this was how you can create a stateful widget. Now here I have already created one stateful widget. Its name is animated container app. Okay. Now to start with our example, we have created a stateful widget and its state classes. Okay. Now we will use this state class. Okay, to define the properties that change over time. So in this example, this includes the widget, the width, height, color and border radius. Okay, you can also define the default value to each property just like we did over here. The default value for these four properties that we are going to use inside our animated container. Okay, which is width, height, color and border radius. These properties belong to a custom state class, so they can be updated whenever the user taps a button. Okay. Now we will build an animated container using these properties. Okay. So inside this build method, first of all, we will return a scaffold. Okay. Which will be having an app bar with some title. In its body, we will be having our animated container. So over here, we have built an animated container using the properties that we have defined in our previous step. Okay. Furthermore, we can provide a duration that defines how long the animation should run. Okay. So using this property of duration of animated container, you can define the duration for how long the animation should run. So here I have provided 1 second. Okay. And this curve attribute is completely optional. Okay, it provides some curve to make the animation feel more smoother. So it is having also various options like bounce in, bounce out, ease in, ease out, ease in circle and etc. Okay, so if we select, let's see, ease in and out. Okay, now our last step will be that start the animation by rebuilding with new properties. Okay, so I have earlier told you that when we use a stateful widget, so we use the stateful widgets when we want to set state of our screen. Okay, which means when the user interacts with the screen, then something happens. Okay, the state of the screen changes. Example, when you click on a radio button, a checkbox or even a button. Okay, so these are our stateful widgets and we use the stateful widget when we want to set the state of our screen. So here we want to rebuild the properties of animated container whenever the user taps on a floating action button. So in our floating action button, we are going to use its onPress property to set the state of this 4 defined variables. Okay, over here inside our scaffold, we'll use its floating action button attribute. Okay, and here we have declared one floating action button. So when the user taps this button, update the properties with new height, width, background color and border radius, which we have called inside the setState method. So a real app typically transitions between fixed values. Okay, so for this app we will generate new values each time the user taps the button. Okay, so here we have to import this random library. Okay, so as you can see over here, that because we are changing the state of this variables, okay, so then we have to make them non-final. Okay, because once you are making a variable final, you can't change its value further in the app. Okay, so we have to make them non-final, so then this errors will be gone. Okay, so do this with all the 4 variables. Okay, with the help of the random function, whenever the user will tap on the method on the floating action button, okay, some random number from the range of 0 to 300, okay, in form of double, okay, will be generated, and those variables will be provided to our animated container, okay, in the form of this variable, and our animated container will be rebuilded. Okay, so we'll simply just format our code. Okay, and in our main.dart file we'll call our animated and here we will call our animated app container screen. Okay, simply import it and just hot reload your app. So after hot reloading your app, you will see such a screen on your device. Now if I click on this floating action button, so you can see we are having an animated container. Now this time it is having different values. Okay, it has generated random width and height and color and border radius for our container. Okay, so now if we again tap it, again and again, so you can see that different values are generated each time, and our container is having a very smooth animation and its duration is also 1 second. So that is how you can create beautiful animated containers for your Flutter application. Okay, I hope you might have learned something new and something very much informative and useful. So till then, keep practicing and I'll see you in the next video.